All right. I guess I'm live. This is the first time I've tried this. Going live, I mean. I'm attempting to give you a view of me working on a portrait while I go through some work. I don't expect it to look great because I'm not trying to make it look great. I'm just trying to get two jobs done at the same time. So, I am trying to talk about free will and determinism. I've been in several discussions about this, and I've been enjoying a discussion on Pleasure of Doubt's channel. And I thought I would get some thoughts down that I'm frustrated by. That maybe I can work through the problems in this manner as I'm trying to get this portrait done. So what's been frustrating me in the discussion I've had with Pleasure of Doubt is, how shall I start this? I'll say this, I really like Pleasure of Doubt's system as methodology of focusing not on what is being defended, what ideas are being defended, but on that we are mutually exploring something. And I'll try to keep that spirit going in this. So I don't mean to so much criticize Pleasure of Doubt. I want to continue this project of discussing this idea, and I'm trying to flesh something out here. I'm not trying to crush him. Sorry, get carried away. So the methodology he appears to be using in his channel thus far is what I would call reductionistic. It's skeptically reductionist. And the problem I have with this methodology is that, how shall I put this? Okay. Let us suppose that there are at least two primary modes with which we can look at the world. And I think these are both valid, but they have their spheres of influence which they reign over, which they are most useful in. This is kind of the idea of Einstein's theories versus Newton's theories. That Newton's theories still will get you down the road, but they may not get you to the moon very well. That kind of idea. And I think if we're not careful, we have to be very careful with a notion like free will, because our epistemological understanding of the world is not such that we can easily talk about what needs to be talked about when we talk about free will, if that made any sense whatsoever. So I'm going to try to elaborate on that now. Gosh, that's almost green. This is dark gray though. Going to try to talk about that now. Okay, so what I'm referring to is what I would call the singular linear versus the systemic holistic. And you could also throw in there, oh shoot, I just made a note of this recently, but I don't remember it off the top of my head. You might be able to throw in there not just singular linear, but something very much like skeptical, or reductionistic. I guess that's it. I guess it's reductionistic. So there's the singular linear, reductionistic, and those are not equivalents. They just fall in the same kind of relationship. So you can orient yourself towards the world in a singular linear reductionistic way, where you're looking at a thing and you're looking at a part of that, and then you're looking at a part of that, and you're looking at a part of that, and you're zooming in constantly as much as you can. And maybe you're trying to take all those parts that you've just discovered and you're trying to put them together into what you hope will then be a whole. And that works just fine for some things. If you're trying to I don't know, maybe you could say a house is a fairly simple system that you could use that methodology for. You look in, if you don't know how to build a house, you could conceivably figure out how to build a house by taking a house apart and analyzing each step. And your methods, actually, the interesting thing about that is your methods might be pretty inefficient, at least at first, when you're trying to recreate that house, because you would be focusing on you would not be learning a method to building a house by reducing the house. A seasoned worker, especially, I have a lot of respect for what you might call the redneck kind of builders. I've worked with them, and the way that they can get things done efficiently and smoothly, the way they know how to focus in on the right of methods, and the right level of detail and the right level of quality, they're able to reduce an action down to a basic set of movements that they can repeat over and over again extremely quickly without hardly any thought. All their thought is then, and I'm talking about a certain kind. I'm sure there's other builders out there, but the builders I've worked with, they're all about producing something as efficiently, as quickly as possible, so you can move on to the next house and the next house and the next house and make as much money as possible. The redneck variety particularly, and I'm not making fun of these people when I say that. I'm describing, I hope I'm describing how they would likely describe themselves. It's a badge of honor even. They would consider it a matter of pride and of toughness, of capacity, of ability to be able to build a house very quickly. And most of their effort would be not on the quality, because they've developed a method that produces the quality without much thought, unlike what I'm attempting to do here and partially failing because I'm talking while I do it, which is turning out not to be a very good method at all. So they've got a method that of producing quality rather quickly. Why am I talking about this? Okay, I'm talking about this because you can't find that in the house. You can't pull apart the house and find the skilled process that allows a builder to build a house efficiently and quickly, so that they can have a good amount of money to bring home to their family or whatever they're doing with their money. And that's significant. That is an example of reductionism working the wrong way. You can learn a lot about the house, but you won't learn about the system that made the house. You might learn some things, and you might be able to recreate it. Okay. I am doing this really badly, not the drawing. I'm doing the drawing badly, kind of too. But what I want to be talking about is how. Okay, that's maybe getting some color back into it that I need. Reductionism. I am just not doing a good job at this. Okay, this is not working. Oh well. And my kid's yelling at me now. Branch, please don't do that. I'm trying to do a recording. Okay. End stream. Sorry, guys.